The first business rule Matt will create will automatically populate an email subject line. To start, we'll find the Journal Email Business object. We'll do that by searching within Business Objects and opening the workspace. We'll then click into Business Rules. We see all the business rule types with drop-down menus. We need to click into the Editing and Calculation rules. There's a business rule here that is closely related to the one we're going to build. Let's see what it looks like. We'll click the pencil of To Address List, which is the third rule listed here. Looking at the expression now, the rule checks the To Address List field to see if it's blank or null, and if either is true, it adds the email address from the incident. If you look further down in the expression, the rule completes the same process for service requests and changes. We close that now and step forward to an incident to see what this rule looks like in action. Within this incident, we'll select New under the activity history and then click New Email. We can see that the To address is already populated. The subject line, however, is blank. We want this to auto-populate in order to have emails categorized nicely without your analyst trying to type an incident into the subject every time. On the next slide, we're going to write a business rule to automatically populate that with the incident number. Let's build that business rule for the subject to auto-populate. Back within the business rules of the Email Business object, we'll click Editing and Calculation Rules, and then Add New Calculation Rule. We just need to specify a few items before we paste in our expression code. This rule is for the subject field, so we'll select that. Next, we'll select Before Save, meaning this business rule will only execute after the Save button is clicked and before the email is saved to the database. We'll leave Recalculate on Load unchecked. If an email has already been sent or received, there's no need to recalculate. The incident number should already be in there. We are most interested in new emails. Adding in a name and description for this rule can be helpful. We call it Populate Email Subject. We can paste the new code in now. I'll get it from this notepad and place it into the editor. The expression we'll use has a lot of the same code as the To Address business rule. If you look closely, you'll notice that the To Address line has been changed to Subject in all instances, since that's the field being populated. Also, the incident email has been replaced with the incident number, since that's what was being populated into Subject. Let's click Simplify Expression. This will first check for syntax and logic errors. If any are present, the system will alert you. If the syntax is correct, the system will simplify the expression if possible. When we do that, there are several information pop-ups. This is normal. The system is simply checking the relationship references and number-to-text conversions. It would also tell you if you have any functions that are not supported by escalations or workflows. At the very bottom, we see a green checkbox indicating that the expression can't be simplified. This function looks good, so we'll hit Save. On the next slide, we'll test this rule. To test this rule, we'll create a new email within an incident. We'll click this incident to open the record and try that. We'll click on Activity History and select New and New Email. Now we have a default subject when we create a new email. This business rule is working. Next, Matt will activate a validation rule. We'll look now at a validation rule that is available out of the box, but needs to be activated in order to be used. This validation rule, if it were enabled, would validate the incident object's status and check to see if it's not closed and not resolved before saving. Let's see what it looks like. We'll click Incident in the Incident Business object, then Business Rules, and we'll open Validation Rules here at the bottom. There's currently only one validation rule, and it's selected to Off, with the expression crossed out. We'll click the pencil to open this up for editing. This expression is saying that if all the task assignments owned by an incident are completed, canceled, or rejected, then it will evaluate to True. If you have any tasks that are just accepted, in progress, or assigned, it won't let you save with the status of Closed or Resolved. It prevents the incident from being closed with active tasks. If there are open tasks, this message will appear. We will close this now, and back on this screen, we'll toggle the status to On in order to activate this rule. We'll see what it looks like in action and try to save an incident with active tasks. I've opened this incident with some unfinished tasks. I'll change the status field on Incident to Resolved and then come over and click Save. When we do so, we receive this error message and we're not allowed to proceed. We know that this validation rule is now functioning. On the next slide, we'll create a read-only field. As you probably know, a read-only rule creates a field that you would like to be displayed but not edited. We'll create one now. We'll start here in the Incident Business Rules and click Read-Only Rules, and then select Add Read-Only Rule. For this rule, we're going to restrict Service Desk Analysts from editing a summary field. We'll first select Subject under the field name to make this a read-only field under certain circumstances. We click the Conditional Expression Radio button. We'll then click down here into the Expression Editor and type, if current user role is equal to Service Desk Analyst, then true, else false. We will click Simplify Expression, and then the system automatically simplifies the expression for us. We'll name it Service Desk Read Only and select Save. To demonstrate the rule working, we'll switch roles to Service Desk Analyst and then skip ahead to an incident. If we try to click into Summary, we see that this is now a read-only field for this role. The business role is working correctly. Matt is now done creating these 3 business rules. To learn about business rules, Matt Reber of the Remote Peak Hotel will create or activate 3 business rules that he feels will increase the productivity of the team. He'll create a pre-populated email subject line so that analysts always enter the right incident number, a validation business rule for saving an incident, a read-only rule to restrict the editing of a field,